Good morning from me and my half-finished makeup. Today I decided to take you guys with me to the office and see what I'm doing for the entire day. So actually I have a meeting coming up that I'm gonna do in the car because I need to commute to the office today and I have no other time, and this meeting is pretty low priority. But yeah, welcome to my day in the office. So our meeting had just ended. I thought that I would take this time to briefly talk about what I do in a day as an investment banking analyst. So our day varies a lot, but normally it starts with either going into a meeting or going into some sort of internal huddle / breakout. If you're on a live deal, it's really important every day to keep track of what you're doing and what to send to the client versus what to send internally. A lot of to-do lists. But if you're on a pitch or just doing an intro book, which means you're pitching an idea, a company to another company or to a private equity firm, then there's a lot of, price updating, a lot of working with the industry team, and a lot of, financial modeling. So for me, I am on the team which focuses on public company merger and acquisitions, which means companies that are listed on the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ here in the US. I don't necessarily work with a lot of foreign companies. I would say 90% of the time would be a US company. So yeah, as I mentioned before, I typically work with the industry team. Industry teams are teams focusing on a specific industry, for example, healthcare, technology, industrials, or consumer products. And depending on the bank, different industries have further breakdowns of sub-industry groups. So for example, in consumers, you can have consumer lifestyle or consumer food and beverage, or consumer, let's say, pet, or there's a lot of categories to it. Another example would be healthcare. There's pharmaceuticals, there's biomed. So depending on the size of the bank and the size of the group and the amount of deal the bank gets, they normally have subdivisions. Okay, yeah, so because my group is called a product group focusing on merger and acquisitions, we work with each different individual sector teams who know better about an industry. So let's say if one of our client is in the technology industry, I don't have that much technology experience. I don't really understand a SaaS model, a subscription model, the difference between the various different models and the software capabilities behind each company's. Amazon is very different from Google, but also very similar. But what are the differences and similarities? Personally, I don't know because I am not on the technology team. So in this case, we cooperate with the technology team. They gave us their insight. We worked together. We built a lot of models, a lot of valuations. They have industry on the company as well as company's competitors. Normally, if we do a comparable company analysis, our team would be focusing on doing the actual technicals, looking at the companies, scrubbing companies, getting data, looking at EV versus EBITDA, etc., while we get a list of the names from the technology team, because the tech team would know who to best compare our company with. So we work a lot hand in hand with them, and it's really important to get their help, and it's really important for them to get our help. And when it comes down to closing a deal, and in terms of fees and how it should be split, well, personally, I don't know. That's depending on the MD. So yeah. I love it when the office has oat milk instead of just regular milk. Hi girl, say hi to my YouTube.
Hey YouTube.
It's so pretty. Right now it's around 3:30 in the afternoon. It's been a hectic morning, super busy. We were doing a lot of comp scrub, a lot of intro book related turning comments. I had to, look into a lot of old filings from the correct number for revenue, EBITDA. So right now taking a break, and later I'm gonna have a meeting with my talent manager, and we have a 4-hour working session with the client to go over some of their financial models, to go over how they see their revenue business growing in terms of doing a projection, to see how other analysts are thinking about their company, just a general overview and catch up. So yeah, it will be another busy afternoon. A lot of people ask me, what do investment bankers do exactly? Raising money, issuing money, or doing mergers and acquisitions. Everything has a relationship with money. You need financing, then you need debt financing. Or if you are trying to go public and you need equity financing, then you work with an investment bank to go public. And the specific job I do is evolved around mergers and acquisitions. For those of you who don't know, mergers and acquisitions is when a company A buys a company B, or when two companies decide to merge together. So a lot of it has to do with a buyer versus a seller. Normally, a buyer is, you would hear buy side versus sell side. Buy side would be a lot of private equity companies, whereas sell side would be investment banks. A lot of the times, investment banks serve as a middle person, helping companies find a buyer, or helping private equity companies find potential companies to buy/invest in. So my role involves a lot with the technicals and a lot of financial modeling. LBO modeling is a big component in mergers and acquisitions, along with discounted cash flow analysis, DCF, as well as comp scrub, precedent transactions, etc. So if you're wondering what are some good examples of mergers and acquisitions, you can look at, for example, when the LVMH group acquired Tiffany for a few $1 billion. So as I mentioned before, I am currently on a live deal and an intro book. What's the difference between a live deal and an intro book? An intro book is a proposal to a company saying, hey, look, these are the potential opportunities. This is how your company is trading. And these are the potential strategies that we can take to either get you more equity financing, debt financing, or potential mergers and acquisitions. So we would look at, these are the few segments of your business. If you sell segment number A, how would your business be trading? If you sell segment number B, how would your business be trading? Does it make sense for you to find a potential buyer to acquire a part of your segment or acquire all of your company? That will be an intro book. It's when a deal hasn't been engaged yet and we're trying to engage a company to move forward. A live deal is a deal that has been engaged already, and we're either trying to find a buyer or a seller through this entire process. So I would say which one's more higher priority? Definitely a live deal, because we try to close the live deal as soon as possible. But intro books are just as important, because that's when you can potentially get a deal engaged. Also, want to talk about the lifestyle of investment banking. It's very deal dependent, at least for my team. If you're engaged on a deal or several deals at the same time, then good luck, you're getting fucked. But if, obviously there's seasons where where it's a bit slower. For example, back in March / end of February, when the whole Ukraine Russia situation was going on in the beginning, a lot of investors were not sure. Then we had a kind of a pause in terms of the M&A activities and M&A markets. But if you're on several live deals at the same time, then honestly, good luck, because you're not going to be getting any sleep. For example, this week has been kind of crazy. Been sleeping every day at 3 a.m. and coming into the office. But some days it's more chill. You don't really have a call until, let's say, 11 or 12. And sometimes the clients push back. They say, oh, let's do it next week. Then great, you can do it whenever you want. It's better for me, right? I think it honestly depends case by case. It's definitely not a straightforward 9 to 5. If you're trying to come into banking, this is not what you're going to be signing up for. Just be prepared for a few late nights per week, and always kind of be on your phone and be alerted, be prepared, responding to email ASAP. Just got off work. Oh my god, I'm so tired. But it's only 5:30 p.m. because we have a closing dinner tonight. I'm very excited. So it's actually my first closing dinner ever. For those of you who don't know, a closing dinner is when a deal closes. Normally you and the client or everyone that's involved in the deal usually get together, the lawyers, the consultant, people like investment bankers from the buy side, from the sell side, PE firms, buyer, seller, all come together, and it's kind of like a huge party. Closing dinners have been kind of put off to a pause during COVID, because obviously people can't travel around. But today, 2 of our colleagues traveled from Chicago to New York to have this closing dinner, and we're going to the Musket Room. I've never been. It's my first time. I'm very excited. Hopefully my MD will order a nice bottle of wine, because I really need it. After the last few days, I really need some alcohol right now.